too busy glistening, glistening in. Why you ain't listen then, listen back then. Now you too much, too little, yeah, too late.
Hey y'all, what's poppin'? So today I'm gonna be filming a get ready with me full face using drugstore products. Okay, so it's cheap, affordable, and good quality. How to slay the drugstore way 2018. The only thing I did not grab was a baking powder because, like I said, I just could not get with the smell of the air spun. I just don't like the smell of it, but I'm pretty sure it's a great product and I know you guys love it. You guys tell me about it all the time. I use a lot of products that I showed in my haul, and some products I already had, so you're gonna see some new things that I didn't show in my previous videos. So you guys just keep on watching. This look came out super cute. It was perfect for fall. I'm just loving it. It's cranberries, pinks, burgundies, you know, the whole fall vibe. Alrighty, so keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as usual if you guys are loving my content and want to see more of me. I love to hear feedback from you guys, especially when you guys come and you guys tell me that you guys got a product that I showed you and you're loving it. I just live for that. So definitely keep me updated, keep me in the loop what you guys are doing. As far as products wise, if I've showed you guys anything, any techniques that you're like loving right now, just let me know. Oh, the lashes that I'm wearing, I did customize these myself. These are in another tutorial as well, and I'll also leave that in the description box with a link to take you to that video if you guys would like to see how I customize these. Basically, they're just drugstore lashes that I put a few together and I did customize them to make them look like expensive minks, and there's a full tutorial on that. So if you guys would like to see that, click the link below. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. So I'm going to start off with my Colourpop brow pencil, and this is called Colourpop Brow Ball. So it's basically a retractable brow pencil, and the shade that I'm using is in the shade dark brown. And I didn't realize how much high-end makeup I had until I was like, I want to film like an affordable makeup haul for you guys. But wow, because when I first started off wearing makeup, the makeup that I had access to, it wasn't drugstore. It was like all MAC, things like that. Like my dad was dating this lady and she used to wear MAC a lot, so I would sneak into their room, like, you know, when they're not home, and I would just put on all her MAC products. And I just loved it. I remember she had a blush, it was called Dusty Rose from MAC, and I would wear that all the time. And obviously they want to know where I'm getting the makeup from, but basically bottom line is one day she decided that she's gonna take me makeup shopping, you know, for the first time, and it was some MAC. So ever since that, I've always been kind of like going with more higher end products. And I actually really like this primer. It feels so good on the skin. It literally reminds me of like the Smashbox primer, like that full formula. It's more like that silicone base. The Too Faced Primer and Poreless. So the foundation that I'll be using today is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, and I am in the shade 356, which is Warm Coconut. Why don't we have a pump? Like, I mean, I know it's drugstore, yada yada, we get it, super cheap, super affordable, but I want a pump, you know? So basically I have to like pour it into my hands like this. and then apply it to my face, which is such a drag. Now we're gonna go ahead and highlight our face. So the concealer that I'm using today is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewiring Concealer. So this is a treatment concealer. There is a serum in here. Only thing with sponge applicators, I do find that they just hold bacteria. That's just how I feel. Now since this is a serum concealer, it is more of the like a liquid type of consistency, so I'm just gonna let this sit for a second and let it dry before I go ahead and blend it out. And the reason why I let it sit sometimes before I blend out my concealer is because when you let your concealer sit for a little bit, it tends to dry down, and it also, in my opinion, I feel like it gives it more of a full coverage type of look. So once it's all dried down, then I go ahead and blend it out. And when I say dry down, I don't mean completely dry, just enough to where you can still blend it out, but it's not as liquidy as when you first apply it. And I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Banana Bread Baking Powder today. I'm gonna take this LA Girl Pro Contour to contour and bronze my face. This is in the shade Deep, and I'm only gonna use this color down here. Pretty dark. This is definitely a contour shade. When I contour, I never use a cool tone contour. You know, basically the contour shades that create like a shadow, I would say. Like I use more of like a bronzer contour. This is very muddy, so I'm gonna pause on the LA Girl contour for right now, and I'm gonna take my BH Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm gonna take this shade right here. This is the second to darkest shade, and I'm gonna use this to warm up my face a little bit more before I go in with the darker contour shade, because I do feel like it's just a little bit harsh on my skin right now, and I'm not loving it. I don't want it to look super muddy and super gray, so I'm gonna start off with this first before I do anything.
Purchase your tracks today.
So now I'm gonna go back in with the LA Girl contour. And I'm using this very sparingly because, like I said, this is super dark to the point where it's like, I wish I got another color. This shade here, actually no, this shade from the contour palette, and I'm going to gently, very lightly, very naturally snatch this nose today. And after I powder contour, I just take the blender and basically pounce it on my face, like around the areas where I just contour, just to kind of soften up the edges a little bit so it's not so harsh. So now I'm going to go back in with a little bit of my loose baking powder from Huda Beauty, and I'm just going to apply that to the sides of my nose. This is just going to help my nose look a little bit more snatched without having to add any more contour powder. So the setting spray I'm going to use today is from e.l.f. and it is their Matte Magic Setting Mist. So I have used this before in the past, but I don't remember if it did anything for me. Just going to spray it a few times just to, you know, get it going. So I would say I like the way it comes out. It is a mist. Like the way it comes out is very like saturated but yet lightweight. Basically like a mist. I mean, now let's just see if it keeps me matte. Before we jump into eyes, take a little bit of setting powder and put it underneath your eyes where you're gonna bake. And then I'm also gonna put the setting powder on my jawbone here, so that way it makes my contour look a little bit more defined.
Purchase your tracks today.
You're basically gonna let this sit. I wouldn't say let it sit till you're done with your eyes, because that might be a little bit too much, but just let it sit for a bit, like maybe 5 minutes. And I'm putting a little bit of that baking powder underneath my eyes to just catch any of the fallout. So the palette that I'm going to be using today, I'm so excited to use this palette. It is so pretty and just so girly and kind of matches my backdrop, so I wanted to use it. It's so cute. And this is from the NYX and Lillipore collection, and this is their Sugar Trip palette. Look how cute it is. I love it. It's just so bright and colorful. So this is what she looks like, and I'll be basically using this entire palette in combination with another. So let's jump right into it. So the first shade I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be taking this shade here. Actually, I lied. First shade I'm going to take is this shade here. So I'm just going to take that shade there, that first shade. I'm just going to put that all over my lid as a nice little base for my eyeshadow. And I'm using my favorite Smashbox Fluffy Blending Brush. This brush is from their older collection, so they don't even make this brush anymore. They make something very similar, but I still like this one. I like this one way better. Next, I'll be taking this shade here, and I'll be putting that basically in my crease. So far, the product is picking up. There's like a slight bit of fallout, but it's nothing too crazy. Like literally the tiniest bit of fallout. So I'm just basically packing that all over my lid in back and forth motions. The next shade I'll be going back into is this shade here. And guys, I don't even know where I'm going with this eyeshadow palette. I'm basically winging it at this point. So I basically just switched brushes so I could get a better positioning of the eyeshadow here.
Purchase your tracks today.
And blend that out with the fluffy blending brush. Again, shit is like, it's very messy. I need to apply more baking powder because the fallout on this is like crazy. Next, I'm gonna take some of that Maybelline Asia Wine concealer and I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna use this to cut my crease.
Purchase your tracks today.
So as you can see, after I cut the crease, I'm not cutting it too far, so I'm just kind of stopping before I get to my outer corner of my lid here. I'm patting the concealer just to make sure that it is dry, or it has dried down, because like I said, it is more of a liquidy consistency. So I'm gonna take this pink shade right here, and I'm just basically gonna pack that onto my lid exactly where I cut the crease. So I'm going to be taking a mixture of this shade here and this shade here. So I'm starting with the more burgundy shade first, and I'm just going to pop that into my crease area. And I'm putting that on the edges of where I just blended that product out. I'm gonna switch my brush so I could get a more better application when I'm applying onto my lid here. And I'm putting that product on the outsides, basically on the edges. So you just kind of want to blend the edges out where we stop that concealer. And I'm still using that burgundy shade. I'm going back in with this brush here that I used earlier. I'm just gonna blend those colors together in a circular motion. Next, I'm gonna take this darker shade here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my crease as well, and more focus it on the outer corners. And I'm using the same brush.
Purchase your tracks today.
So I took a little bit of this cranberry shade, and I'm blending in that deeper color with the pink shade that we initially put on the lid. So now that's done, I'm just gonna take one more blending brush, and I'm gonna just blend all this together. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this red shade here, and I'm gonna basically buff out the edges of this crease. This whole eyeshadow look here, sorry. So I'm just putting it on the outer edges like so. So it's not so harsh. I'm gonna go back in with the burgundy shade here and buff that out as well. Just basically putting it on my crease area and merging everything together. When I do eyeshadows, I don't have a particular like order. I just kind of look at it, see how it's blending, see where I need to add some color, you know, and I take it from there. And then now I'm gonna do my bottom eyeshadow really quickly. I'm gonna take this burgundy shade here. I'm just gonna dust that on the bottom of my lids.
30 hertz straight up.
I'm going in with this pink shade here, and I'm also gonna put that on my bottom lid, right over where we put the other shade. This palette has a lot of fallout, like, my god. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face once more. So I'm gonna take another palette, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of glitter to the crease, because, you know, I feel like the look wouldn't be complete with a little bit of glitter. So I'm gonna take this palette, and it's the Sprinkle Town palette from the NYX and Lillipore collection, and it's basically a glitter palette. It has creams in it, so you don't really need to, you know, use a base. And that's what it looks like. That's the shade I'll be using. This is so pretty. Wow. Ah! It's so cute. So it's basically what I did. I put it halfway towards the lid and I just used the excess part and I kind of dragged it along to help blend it out. So it's almost like a nice gradient effect. Because I still want some of that pink shade to show. So that's why I didn't want to cover it too much. To blend it out a little bit more, I'm just gonna go back in with the same brush that we applied the pink shade on our lid, and I'm just gonna kind of like pat that on top of where the glitter just met, because like I said, I want it to be super gradient, and I still wanted the pink color to show a little bit. So the mascara I'm using today is the Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and line my eyes now, and I'm using the e.l.f. liquid liner, and this is the jet black shade. I need a liquid liner to survive. It's so crazy, but a liquid liner, I just can't live without it. So this is my first time using this. Oh god, I like the brush. It applies very nicely, it goes on very smooth, super liquidy. So far, so good.
30 hertz straight up.
Oh my gosh. This makeup is like pissing me off. It's not even that it's pissing me off. First of all, I don't know what this is. It's like on my nose. And then I just fucked up and I got liquid liner all on my freaking nose. I'm leaving it. It's gonna be a mold today. Okay guys, so I'm back. I did pop my lashes on. These lashes, like I said, they were customized by myself. And I do have a separate video on that. So what I did pop my lashes on. I went ahead and added a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes using the same Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. And then I also went ahead and just kind of cleaned up that mark where I showed you guys earlier, where I had a little bit of spillage from the eyeliner. The highlighter that I'm going to use today is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter, and I do have the shade in 100 Molten Gold. So I'm going to be using this blush palette. It's from e.l.f. and it's in the shade Dark. And I'm going to go and take this shade right here. I'm going to go back in with the Maybelline Master Chrome and I'm going to highlight my nose and like just start in the corners of my eyes there, just to give it a little bit more of a pop.
Purchase your tracks today.
So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with my favorite, most favorite ever. Like, this is my ride or die lip liner. If I'm gonna go ahead and die today, I want to take this lip liner with me. So this one is in the shade Urban Cafe, and this one is from NYX, and it's just so pretty. It's like the prettiest brown ever. It's a perfect shade for just about any lip color. So next I'm gonna take my Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer, and I'm gonna put this basically on my lips. This is my lip color of choice today. And I'm not sure if it's a matte or is it just like a gloss. And I think it's a gloss. Yep, definitely gloss. Ah, yes. I love it. I love colors like these, so pretty. So I'm gonna get all cleaned up now. I'm gonna change my shirt, get my hair together, and I'll be right back to show you guys the complete and final look. Basically, this is how you slay the drugstore way, girl. Like, this actually came out cute, I'm not gonna lie.